to trade the house for AD. They were going to, be a top contender for KD, and then when he got hurt, they didn't want to offer him a max, which, while I think he's probably still worth a max, a lot of teams, I think, were taking that approach, that a 30-plus-year-old player with an injury that no one has come back the same from is not going to be that same player, is not going to be worth a max. I don't think that's a terrible take, even if I don't necessarily agree with it. So they went for gritty-type players, guys with a lot of promise that they could get for reasonable prices. Like, look at the contracts they have. They're all 1 to 2 years. I think Randall's the only one that has a third year on it, and they're full of team options. So they can cut any of these guys after a year or two, and they're left with a lot of flexibility. They're still building through the youth movement. This is something that the Knicks have not done in our entire lifetimes. So I'm not going to be upset with them actually embracing a youth movement. You're going to see Mitchell Robinson playing a ton of minutes at the center, developing.
As he should.
You're going to see what we have in Knox. You're going to kick tires on Frank Ntilikina. You're going to see if DSJ can step it up to the next level. You're going to see if RJ starts to get a handle on things. And then you're going to have these solid other players that are going to make us an actual, 30, maybe even more than 30 win team now with Marcus Morris. That's a huge defensive upgrade for us. So that's how you, and then that's how you attract free agents in that 2-year timeline. That's when, I don't think they're getting him, but that's when Giannis is a free agent. Kawhi just signed a 2-year deal with a 3rd-year player option, so he could potentially be, a guy to come to the Knicks at that point. And they won't be trying to attract these players by just being the Mecca, which is what they've been doing for fucking ever, and it hasn't been working for the past 2 decades.
And I'm telling you right now, I don't care how good the Knicks are looking in the next 2 years. No free agents are coming until Dolan is dead or sells the team. Nobody wants to play for an owner who's going to degrade you, who's going to make you feel less than one player on the team, who's going to piss you off continuously, and then when you're a legend from the team, going to pick fights with you.
What's he done to current players, really, besides potentially the KP situation, which, again, sounded like it was from Phil, not from Dolan. I didn't hear that he was involved with KP directly. Did you hear that?
Not directly, but Dolan obviously chose Phil Jackson over Carmelo, which I don't think Carmelo was, at the end of his time with the Knicks, I don't think he was great. By no means do I think he was great. But, he's been your guy for 7 years. And you're just going to let this pompous prick come in and just fuck things up?
Well, again, a lot of people thought that Phil was a basketball genius. So I'm not going to be surprised if Dolan thinks that, okay, maybe I'll give the reins to Phil. He's done this so many times. I get, hindsight is 20/20, but at the time, everyone was like, oh, yeah, Phil Jackson.
I fucking hated it.
And, Melo was at the end of his career. It was time to start moving on. It was beyond obvious after that playoff run with Tyson Chandler and everyone that, okay, we failed. We got to we got, midway through the playoffs. I don't even think they made the conference championship. Did they make the Eastern Conference Championship?
No.
No, I think they only made
who they beat? They beat the Hawks and then got steamrolled by the Mavs, or not the Mavs, the Cavs.
Right. So I think at that point it was like, they were in cap hell. They had no picks because of the freaking Bargnani trade. So, that's when it was time to look forward, and they started to, but Phil ended up being a jackass. He made one good pick in KP, and then completely soured that relationship until it wasn't salvageable. So, unfortunately, the Knicks got screwed by Phil. But this FO, I don't think has done anything terrible except for make that big promise, like you said, which, I'm not going to blame them for trying to sell tickets. I don't agree with it, but it's whatever. I think they made good moves this free agency, built a solid team that will be competitive and be fun to watch, and will actually attract free agents in the future. Because that's been their problem. As I said, they've just tried to attract free agents by being New York City and by being the Garden. And it's clearly not working. The Nets are New York City. They've shown that they can be competently run, that they can be competitive even when they didn't have any draft picks because of that stupid Celtics trade from way back. So if the Knicks can show that they can be competitive and that they really have turned a new leaf, which this year and next are really gonna be the determining factor of, then I think they'll actually be a free agent destination. Again, Dolan, I agree. Dolan is a net negative. I wish he would sell the team. But I don't really think this front office has done any major screw-ups yet. And I put yet on there because it's the Knicks and it's Dolan. So I'm expecting it at some point. They will do something stupid. I was concerned they were going to sell the house for AD. I was concerned they were going to trade for Westbrook. They didn't do either. I'm happy. Non-moves can be good moves.
Oh, I'm happy.
Those moves were good.
I'm happy. I've said that I want Westbrook so little that I wouldn't trade a toaster strudel for Westbrook. And I don't even like toaster strudels. I'd rather have a toaster strudel than Russell Westbrook. So I'm very happy that they didn't trade for Russell Westbrook. I'm fine not wanting to sell the house on Anthony Davis. I just wish that part of that trade where we unloaded Kristaps Porzingis could have been more productive. Could have led to something.
Yeah, and unfortunately that leaked. That he was super unhappy. So I don't think we got enough back for him for what we could have. But his injury was also a big concern. Definitely diminished his value. And I blame his camp, and I blame Phil for that. Again, that was before this current FO. This current FO came in when everything had already been set, and they got what they could with an injured, young, good-looking player who was extremely unhappy and demanding a trade. You don't really get a lot back from that.
In retrospect, they should have said, "Fine, go play in Latvia. We don't have to pay you because you're breaking your contract. And when you're ready to come back to the NBA, we still own the rights to your ass. So, do it. Fucking do it." I mean, why the Dallas Mavericks and not try and use him as part of a trade for Anthony Davis? Because this happened after Anthony Davis had his frustrations aired. I just feel like more could have been done. More should have been done. We were promised 2 max slots.
I didn't think the Pelicans were that interested in him for some reason. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I thought they did explore that.
I'm very frustrated with the New York Knickerbockers. Like I said, I love the signing of Elfrid Payton. I think that it's long overdue. Should have been done last year. He should have been a Knick when he was traded for pretty much nothing. So I like that. Julius Randle, I don't know. Is he that necessary? Like, how much time is he going to take away from Mitch?
No, because Randle can play forward. He's probably a more natural power forward. And Mitch can't play, the entire game. He needs someone else to back him up. Now, sure, did we overload on forwards? Yes. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing because we've got a lot of guys that are going to look really tempting to teams on the cusp of what they think is a championship run from the trade deadline. And I think the Knicks are going to wheel and deal at the deadline with some of these guys like Portis. I don't think they'll trade Randle. I think he's a really nice building block to have. I think him and Mitchell Robinson are great front court, potentially. But they could trade Ellington, potentially Taj Gibson. I don't love his contract though. But again, we can cut him next year without anything.
I like. The more I thought about it, I half like the Taj Gibson pickup because you need veteran presence, and he's the most veteran guy. But I was looking at the team. Literally, the best player on the Knicks right now, in my opinion, because I didn't get to watch much Julius Randle, is Mitchell Robinson. He's their best player. He needs to be vocal. He needs to be their leader.
I wouldn't say that. I think he's potentially the best player. He still has a lot of his game to work on, especially offensively. He's the best shot blocker, certainly.
He's the best shot blocker in the league, maybe.
Top defender. He's second in the league. I heard he's working on his lateral quickness. Seems like he's worked on his free throws, which is nice to see. So he's definitely got some aspects of his game that he needs to improve before I'm willing to say that. I would say Randle is probably our best player. I like Portis a lot, too. And these are all guys that can shoot threes, too. Like, don't forget. Like, everyone's like, oh, you've got so many forwards, you're going to just be crowding the lanes. A lot of these guys can post up at the three-point line.
Right.
Well, post up's not the usage of the best term.
Pull up.
Basketball terms. But, yeah, I like a lot these contracts. I really like a lot of them because of their versatility, and I think it's a step in the right direction. It's not the leap that they were promising, and I get that. I get being disappointed, but it's a step in the right direction, and it's not trading away our future for some kind of win now deal. Nowhere near that. We're still, we need a few years of competitiveness. We need to see these young guys develop, and this FO has had a solid, as we're discussing, solid drafting so far. I know not a lot, but I know a few people that are super high on Brazdeikis. He has certainly had a decent showing in Summer League.
You know my feelings about Summer League.
RJ could become something great. I know you and I were very high on John Morant and Zion, obviously, but the league screwed us over. So
I wasn't so high on Zion.
No, I am.
I feel like he has the highest upside. He's also got the most potential for downside, and we've already seen him get injured, literally minutes into his career.
Yeah, that was disappointing. I don't love to see that. I don't wish players hurt. It stinks in my opinion when a guy's got all the potential in the world, unfortunately, due to his body betraying, like Odin.
Oh, absolutely.
Never develops. I hope this is just like a freak thing. He was healthy through most of Duke, except for when his shoe exploded.
Well, this was him and Knox went knee to knee. Their knees hit, and Zion got the worst of it. And I think the Pelicans were just super cautious. I think he was ready to go back in the game. They're like, fuck no, you're not. You're done.